Yeah, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all need to hear this. I know you're in the trenches fighting, but check it out. I'm gonna put it down like this so I can help you saints understand. Everything you're going through is all part of the master plan. Or what? You thought cause you got saved everything was gonna be peaches and cream? You better wake up, son. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Faith without works is dead. Read your Bible, you know what it said. He who don't work don't eat. Slackers don't get fed. Yeah, Jesus said he who puts his hands to the plow looks back the same ain't fit. Some of y'all ain't been in the trenches 5 minutes and you about ready to quit. I ain't mad at ya, I'm just hitting you with the real. If you died for me and I was still tripping, now how you think that make you feel? Check this out, deep game, this here's deep. Some of y'all ain't sawing nothing but you started trying to reach. But unto him who is able to possess your fathers by his glory. Struggles might be part of your testimony, but it ain't the end of the story. Now the point is was prophesied way back in the day. Choir, sing your hook right here and see if the church can relate.
I know we can make it. I know good and well. I can work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Yeah, he'll work it out. I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. I can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yeah.
Thinking not strange, the fiery trials are to try you. You say, why you? But your church say, what would Jesus do? Why you asking if he ain't trying to do what he's saying? He told you he was going to have tribulations, but you thought he was playing. 1 minute you're telling how good God is and can't nobody beat your talk. The next minute you're backsliding so fast, look like you're moonwalking. Oh yeah, I'm preaching to myself because I ain't no better. It ain't like I've been following his every word, obeying it to the letter. So we soldiers, we got to remember that. Regroup, stay on point. Yeah, bow down, confess, repent, stay humble, let him anoint. It ain't easy as I thought it was. I'd be lying if I told you that. But it's showing up getting better all the time. Trust me, that's a fact. Ain't nothing we going through that can't be handled. God put that on his son. Like they say, you can shout now if you want to, cause the battle's already won. So while you're going through the valley, don't even trip. You're gonna be on top. Choir, sing the hook line one more again. This time you don't stop.
I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. I can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He'll work it out. We can make it. I know we can make it. I know good and well. Oh, yeah. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. If you let him, I know good and well. He can work it out. 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 Oh, he'll work it out. Oh, I know we can make it. We can make it. I can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? I'm going to pump the brakes right there, but I had to give praise Master G just a minute because I know with Big Boy's help upstairs, we're going to be able to make it, because there's some crazy itch going on out there right now. And I hope you ain't looking at the news and stuff, because if you are, you're probably going to be depressed. And I hope you're listening to me, which hopefully we can make you feel a little bit better doing what we're doing. Of course, and as usual, this is your host, Lamont Patterson, and you're listening to I Am Indie, brought to you by those good people over at World Movement. If you don't know who they are, check them out. WorldMovement.com is the place. Anyway, as usual, we got a fantastic show lined up for you. I have this dynamic female vocalist, and I'm pretty good about listening to singers. I've been in this business forever and ever. This dynamic female vocalist, Miss Cilla Raie, all the way from London, from the UK, blowing up in the R&B scene, doing this fantastic, wonderful things, and the music is on point, You guys will not be disappointed. Let me see if Cilla with us. Are you in the building, miss?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was just making sure because I'm so far away and I wasn't sure. I was like, oh my gosh, hopefully he can hear me. Hopefully everything is fine.
Yeah, I can hear you fine, and everybody else in the world, they're going to be able to hear you fine too,
Oh,
thank
you. How are you?
I'm blessed, and I'm healthy, and I'm trying to stay safe, and I hope you're doing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not the best time, but, just trying to make the most out of the situation. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? You know what, Cilla? Survivors survive. Winners win. We gonna do what we have to do.
Right. Right, of
Uh, one,
course.
th-
Absolutely.
one thing I like about entertainers and being in this business, boy, it makes you resourceful, if nothing else.
Right, exactly. I mean, I try to just keep going and keep releasing music, and hopefully, you know, it's serving its purpose and it's helping. So, yeah.
Well, definitely, music. I've always said, and it is, the international. It is the international or the global language. It's the only thing that I know that could elicit so many different emotions from people all over
Exactly.
the world.
Right, exactly. So, that's why I'm here today.
Absolutely, and everybody that don't know about you will know about you and gonna know about you, 'cause girl, you can sing.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to be on your show. Honestly, this is my first US interview, so it's pretty exciting for me.
Oh, great, and I am so blessed to have you. Well, Cilla, you calling all the way from London, correct?
Yes, from London all the way.
Right. Okay, well, I'm going to give you the floor and let you tell, our listeners a little bit about you before I get into the
Mhm.
questions, because I always want to know from the artists, where they come from, how they got started. How do you know? Sometimes I think of this music as a curse, and then I think it's a blessing, and then I think it's a blessing, and then I
Right.
think it's a curse. So I'm gonna let you tell our
Right. Yeah.
listeners. I'm gonna let you tell our listeners what got you going and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I started music when I was 14 years old, so a little bit over a decade ago. And I just pretty much, at first I started doing it quite casually because I just found it really intriguing, and I just loved, having music on in the house all day. My parents always used to have music on. We always used to play MTV in the background, and I just loved, like, all the R&B singers based in the US, the Aaliyahs, Brandy, Monica, all those girls, and I kind of just took influence from them. And professionally, I started when I was 14. I released my first project, which was an EP, just to kind of, have that first-time experience. Um, and it did really, really well. We had a lot of coverage from the EP, and then I thought, okay, cool. This is something that I guess it's picked up, and this is something that I feel like I have to do. So at the same time, whilst I was releasing, I was still going to school. I still went to university. I still graduated with a bachelor's degree. Um, I still, was releasing on the side as well, kind of going to events. I was actually doing a school tour up and down the UK, just traveling to different schools, performing for the kids, doing workshops with them, teaching them, about songwriting and things like that. And yeah, I continued and still, again, went back to university, did a master's degree. Um, and then I took a break for a little while because I had my son. He's 3 now. So I decided to just pause and, just focus on that aspect of things. And then I came back to music just last year when I thought it was going to be the perfect time. However, COVID-19 hit. And we kind of had to just figure out how we were going to, kind of like come back, I guess, in the middle of a pandemic. It was really new, really fresh. So it just entailed having to be creative and just kind of shooting music videos from my house and, trying to record as much as I could on my own, and just putting music out. I just said, you know what, I'm not going to let this stop me. We'll do this all digitally, virtually. And so I continue to put music out. This is R&B, which I know is a US platform. They named me one of the top 10 R&B artists to watch. Had a lot of radio success in the UK with it. A lot of other coverage as well. And then now, this year, I've just now put out a new single which came out 2 weeks ago called Motive. And it's done really well. Had a lot of love from MTV. Had a lot of love from BBC Radio, which is like a big radio station down here and a big network down here. And yeah, I'm just super grateful, honestly.
Oh, great. What's the weather like there now? Because every time I come to London, it's rainy and dreary looking.
Well, that hasn't changed, but at the moment, it's literally snowing. Like, we are in snow period, so it's not nice as per usual.
Well, it's perfect time to sit there and write some new music, write some new songs, because you can't get out and run the street too much.
Exactly. We can't get out of the street. We can't get out and about, and then at the same time, we are in what we call Tier 5. So we're in like the highest form of strict lockdown. So nobody can go anywhere, anyways. Can't do no events. Can't do no live shows. Can't do nothing. We are on complete lockdown.
Oh wow! You know, the one thing I found out about this pandemic and everything. If you're not computer literate, you will be by the time it's over with.
Right. It will make your life will be so hard if you're not, digital savvy.
Oh, true. Because I know a lot of should I say I don't want to call them old school artists, but they are. They're not really computer savvy, so I know they're really going through it, in terms of trying to record music, send digital files and all that stuff. It's a whole new learning curve for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
And especially if you don't have a team of people that could do it for you, and then it still doesn't make any difference because they really can't come to you, so you still need to be able to send stuff to them.
Exactly. Like, if you're independent, honestly, there's a lot to learn.
Whole lot. So, we got some questions over here for you, and everybody gonna want to know anyway. And I think you had mentioned a couple female artists that inspired you. Were there any more out there that you can think of?
You know what? All the R&B girls. I just love all the R&B girls. Janae Aiko, her, who else? Beyonce, of course. Rihanna, of course. Tamia. So many, literally. I'm Victoria Monet at the moment. I absolutely love her. So many. The girls are killing it right now.
One thing I noticed, from the industry, it seems like when you're here in the States and you go abroad anywhere and you become successful over there and then you come back here, seem like you're more readily acceptable then.
Yes.
Strange phenomenon, but it's kind of like been that way for years because a lot of artists here, great artists, but I guess it's a lot of them too. They're not really that well accepted, but once they go to Europe, somewhere else, and they have some success there, and then they come back, everybody loves them.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's very, very interesting. But it's that dynamic. I think it's just, especially for R&B music, for us, because it's a genre that originates from the States. To us, it's more of a fascination. It's more of like, we love this sound, we love this genre. So we're just readily accepting of most R&B artists from the States anyways, especially the ones that I mentioned, the phenomenal ones. So, yeah.
Have you worked with any of those so far?
No, but I would absolutely love to. So, if they hear this, I'm up for it. Yeah.
Well, Cilla, do you have a band?
So I work with different bands. So down here it depends. So if I have like a live show or an event, I'll usually call on, like my musical director that I work with quite often, and he'll put together a band for me. unfortunately, because I started, releasing again only just last year when the pandemic hit, I never had the opportunity to get back in with them. So I love doing live shows with a band. It's so much more better than playback.
Yeah, I was just finna ask you that. Which was your preference? Working. I was just finna ask you that question. Yeah, but I understand with a live band, you have a lot more freedom.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've always said this. I feel like the live band players in the States, they're like no other. You cannot find around the world live band players like the ones in the States. You guys are a different level, honestly.
Yeah, I just wish there were more musicians here. I always say, well, I don't always say, but I kind of talk about it. With the advent of the computer, it seemed like we lost a few musicians. You know what I mean? Because in my era, when I came up, we had to play, and we had to read music. And it seemed like we had a generation of two where, with computers, a lot of producers, they were good at sampling stuff, but they couldn't read a chart. They couldn't read a chart. They couldn't play per se.
Right. Everything is just digital.
Yeah, everything is digital, and I blame, society a lot for that because, they took a lot of programs out of the schools, We used to have more music programs in school, at a young age,
Right.
They used to have to, your mother used to have to just sign a note, and then they'll let you take an instrument home and stuff,
Right, and they no longer do that?
Well, in some of the affluent schools, should I say, some of the schools in say some of the richer neighborhoods, but in the inner city, it's not as accessible. Let me put it that way. I'm talking about I'm talking about like in the third, fourth, fifth grade, like that, because that's really when I got a lot of my band experience. When I was in elementary school. And then, that carried me into junior high and, of course, high school after that. But, I was around it at an early age because it was accessible.
Right, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but, I guess when they cut back on the budgets and stuff, and the schools really didn't have no money to keep getting bands the equipment and stuff.
It's true. It's taken away the ability to just have that, create, being like a creative artist with the freedom to just be able to just have the opportunity to have things accessible there and not have to think, I have to pay for this or pay for that, and it's just there readily available. Not having that is unfair.
Right, totally unfair. So have you been here?
Yes, I have. I've traveled to LA, Los Angeles, quite a few years back now, but honestly, I know that, different states are different, but I absolutely loved LA. So it'd be like my dream place to move, but, that's just because me being from London and not having no setting where it's completely warm and beach sides and all of that, but LA is beautiful. California is beautiful, honestly.
Yeah, well, California is a big state, so it's a whole lot more of it for you to see, that's for sure.
Exactly, and I want to come out. Listen, do you know what's so crazy? Last year, just before the pandemic hit, I actually had a trip to make out to Miami, and literally the tickets were booked, everything, we were ready to go. And then literally this situation happened and all of our flights were cancelled. So as soon as things lift, I am out there.
Well, look, definitely they're going to be ready for you, boy, when you come out of here, too.
I hope so.
They definitely going to be ready for you. So, Cilla, look, we got some of your music here. I know Motives is your most recent single, but I want to save that one
Yes.
for last. So
Right.
we got the Ain't No One and Masterpiece. So which one do you think we should
Yes.
go with first?
We can go with Masterpiece first because that was, you know, before Ain't No One, and it was just before I took my hiatus. So Masterpiece will be the one.
Okay, well, what's up with it? Tell us about it. How did you write it? Did you write it in the elevator, in your car, or what was the inspiration for it?
Yeah, so I work a lot with a producer called Joey Dyer. Joey Dyer is responsible for quite a lot of hit records. He produced Iggy Azalea's Fancy, done a lot of records with, you know, a lot of UK-based artists. Like, he's done his round. So me and him work quite closely together. And I remember when I wrote Masterpiece, I wrote the full song myself. We just wanted to really just bring that R&B sound to the UK because we felt like that was what was missing. R&B isn't a predominant genre in the UK, so there's very few artists who do the genre, and it's not as supported as, you know, the States per se. So when I heard the production that he sent me, I said, okay, you know, I kind of wanted to go for that semi-slight old school feel, you know, like the slow jam era. I just wanted to kind of go for that feel, so that's kind of the inspiration behind it when I wrote that song. And yes, I just absolutely loved it because I had so many opportunities that came from that song. We have a really big platform called the MOBO Awards down here. It's similar to the BET Awards, but like a UK version. And they pioneered the song for us and premiered the song, and they really supported me on this record, and it really did really well for me. So, yeah.
All righty then. Okay, well, listen, everybody, let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this. Cilla Raie, this is Masterpiece.
I can see visions of us. It goes on and on. It goes on and on. Constantly picturing us. It goes on and on. It goes on and on. They don't see what I can see about you. They don't know everything I know about you, 'cause you show me what makes you different. No one can come close to you. Get a feeling when I see you there. Got me looking at you, really feeling everywhere. Really, 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 really want you over here. I'm about to show you just how much I really care. This side of you, it takes my breath away. You're the definition of perfect in my eyes. My only thought is being close with you. Closer and closer and closer each day. You're a masterpiece in my eyes, and you don't even try. From the inside to the out, I see you as I flow. Don't go, don't go, inside to the out, I see you as I flow. Masterpiece, you're a masterpiece in my eyes. Masterpiece, you're a masterpiece in my eyes. Don't go, don't go, masterpiece, you're a masterpiece in my eyes. You're my security. Keep me going strong. Keep me going stronger. Nothing I don't believe. I think you're the one. I think you're the one. I don't know what I would do without you. I won't find nobody else that's like you, 'cause you're one of a kind. I can't deny. I guess I'm lucky to have you in my life. Get a feeling when I see you there. to show you just how much I really care. This side of you, it takes my breath away. You're the definition of perfect in my eyes. My only thought is being close with you. Closer and closer and closer each day. You're a masterpiece in my eyes, and you don't even try. From the inside to the out, I see you without slow. Don't go, don't go, inside to the out, I see you without slow. Masterpiece, you're a masterpiece in my eyes. Masterpiece, you're a masterpiece in my eyes. Don't go, don't go, masterpiece, you're a masterpiece in my eyes.
I am Envy. With your host, Lamont Patterson. I'm independent, but I'm in it. I'm feeling fine all the time. On my pride, I am indeed. DaVinche Raie.
Yeah, we back with our guest today, Miss Cilla Raie, and that was Masterpiece, everybody. That was awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I know these gals out here, boy, to get ready, better get ready for you because you coming with it.
You know what? That's the perfect song for Valentine's coming up this weekend. So.
Okay, guys, that means don't go run and hide nowhere. You better go get that candy and them flowers.
Right, and then slow jams.
Yeah. Hey, look, record you some music and put it on a thumb drive because don't know how many people use CDs anymore.
Right, exactly.
Man, I hate that. Still, I went and got a car. I thought, I had all my CDs, all my music. You know how you have all your jams, your special CDs put together. I went and traded my car and got another car, man, and I sit out there for about 35 minutes trying to figure out where the CD player was, and then I said, I know where it is. It's in the trunk of the car. I know where it is. So I open up the trunk and I'm looking for the deck to, to put it in there to change it. No CD player.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
Oh, no.
A lot of cars. That messed me up. Yeah, I know, but every so many years, come on, man. Look, they changed technology only to keep you spending money. Because I go back to the 2-channel, 4-channel, 6-channel, 8-channel, and then they went with the 32-channel. Now we 24, 48. And stereo is 2 channels. I don't care how you look at it, left and right. So if you got 55,000 channels, you're still going to record it to 2 channels unless you go, surround. So it's still crazy. I mean, when is that going to end?
Right. Right. But you know one thing that never gets old?
What's
that's
that?
radio.
Yeah.
That one, the radio never gets old. Radio
don't get old, and it still comes over in 2 channels, left and right. No matter how many you record in the studio, you do 9 background tracks, and then you're gonna bounce them here, bounce them there. At the end of the day, it still comes down to 2 channels anyway.
Exactly. Right.
Don't you love giving somebody that's mixing your music a headache?
Yeah. I mean, yes. I'm one of those. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I have to admit it. I'm one of the. You know what it is? It's because you just want to hear it sound as close as perfect as possible. I think it's especially important when you're working with vocals. You're working with harmonies, ad-libs. It's different for a rap
Right.
hip hop, because there's not the same amount of layers as what would go into, like, say, a Brandy song. A Brandy song will have like 150 layers in the song, whereas like a hip hop or rap record ain't gonna have that much. So of course we want to make sure everything's blended, sounding as cohesive as possible. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The mixer gets a headache because he got to try to separate all the different channels, the different tracks, and put it all together where you could hear every little thing.
Exactly, and everything's blending well. All the harmonies are together, and the one doesn't sound too above the other. You got to get it right.
Do you do all your backgrounds too?
Yes, I do all my backgrounds. I do all my writing. I do everything. Yeah.
You do everything. You the boss. You the boss.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, when you're independent, you got to figure it out. You're working with a limited budget. We ain't got all the money in the world to be hiring extra people. So, you got to figure it out. So I figured it out. I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to learn how to just do it all. So.
Girlfriend, you're singing to the choir, man. I've always, my whole entire career, every bit of it, I've never had somebody come and say, here's 50,000, here's 100,000, 200,000, go record a project. I've never had that. I've always had to put together my projects the best way I could. You know what I mean?
Exactly, like most people, And we live in a better time where we can do so much ourselves now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a blessing and a curse, I guess.
Yeah. Yep, that's what I was saying earlier, But I find out, doing it this way, it makes you better suited for the craft that you've chosen. It makes you more knowledgeable. We were speaking about, the studio a little while ago in production and having a whole bunch of different tracks. But I've seen guys that have, $1 million studios and don't know how to work nothing.
Right. You're just there wasting money, like.
They just don't know how to work the equipment, but then you figure, like, you see some guys maybe just have like an 8-track or a 16-track or whatever, and they could they know how to use it because that's all they got, and their music can sound like God, because they really know how to work it because that's all they have,
Right.
Sometimes too much, not good enough.
Exactly, unfortunately.
So Cilla, what is the R&B scene like? You said it's not, much like the States. So, I mean, what are they more into, pop stuff or EDM stuff, or what's the big thing there?
At the moment, I mean, it depends, on the demographic, really. But I would say within the main community of, like, the younger generation between, like, the ages of 18 to 30. In the urban community, I guess we have a genre called drill. I don't know if you've ever heard of drill music, which is very, very popular here.
You're going to have to send me some of that.
So I think, actually, drill might originate from Chicago, I believe. I might be wrong, don't quote me. But who's the best example? So Pop Smoke, he's, like his type of music where it's got like that heavy hitting, the type of music that he came out with initially, that kind of sound is very, very popular in the UK at the moment. A lot of rap is popular here. Hip hop as well. We do have, like, the main popularity, I guess, will be pop music, mainstream music, dance music. But as far as, like, R&B, yeah, we are still trying to get back to the place where R&B is predominant,
That's interesting.
Yeah. Which is a shame because we have so many talented R&B artists, and like I said, we love the R&B artists that come from America, but we just don't seem to embrace our own yet. So
it's just the opposite here. It's just the opposite.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I used to go to South France to Midam, to the music conference, and that they have in Cannes, and I would hear music from all over the world. I mean, some dynamite stuff, some really nice music that I would hear from all over the world that we don't even get to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I would guess, is it more just predominantly music from, America that's just played in America? Do they embrace other music from, other parts of the world, I guess?
I think Americans embrace music from other countries a lot quicker than they do homebred music. I guess because it's something like I guess if you eat it every day, you really have a taste of something different. Does that make sense?
Right, of course.
Yeah, if you hear it every day, it's kind of like maybe it's the same sound. Or one thing I like about being independent too is that my taste is way different, a lot more out of the box than normal. Because a lot of companies here, you either sound too much like an artist or you don't sound enough like somebody. And so a lot of artists find themselves trying to straddle that fence. They trying to, sound like a Beyonce or a Rihanna or somebody just so they can get noticed, right? But then the same token, somebody, they don't want another Beyonce. They don't want another Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? So it's...
Yeah, of course.
It's crazy. So it's like, I might as well just be myself. I might as well just be myself.
Yeah, of course. It's a fine line, and it's hard to find the balance, I think, sometimes, And then even if you do try to be different, I think, it's a little bit harder for women because I feel like with women, they tend to just pit, one artist against the other, or just the comparison just always comes regardless.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
That's
So
what
it's
I'm
just a bit
talking about,
harder.
That's what I'm talking about, especially when it comes to, the supposed deal makers or radio. Oh, she sounds too much like that, so we're not going to even give it a try. And and it's kind of it's really not good for the artist because they may have just heard that one song. They may not even heard everything else you got.
Yeah, exactly.
They make a decision. I guess that's one thing I like about the internet too. Is like back in the day, you had to depend so much on the A&R department, and if the A&R guy, came in with a hit, then he's the best person in the world. Everybody loves him. But, if he come in with a bad song on the group of the artists, then that just may be that song. It may not be the best. But then, he's the bad guy then.
Of
so
course.
the internet
I think
did...
the internet...
Yeah, the internet did level the playing field a little bit,
Of course, definitely. That's the beauty.
Yeah, that is totally the beauty. So let me see what else we got. Ain't No One. So we're gonna play that till people put their ears on it. So you want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Yeah, so Ain't No One was the single that I came back with last year. I wrote that song around the time Masterpiece came out, so now it'll probably be like 4 years now, 4 years ago. Again, it was another one of those songs that I really wanted to have a reminiscent old school kind of slow jam song. That song was the lead-in single that's going to be off of my up-and-coming EP, which is going to be coming out later this year. And I just love the vibe. Again, it just gives me that sultry kind of slow Aaliyah kind of soft vocals. And it's just the type of music that I love. I won't call myself the slow jam queen because I have a lot of slow songs, but yeah, it's just, one of those songs that I just loved. Yeah.
I love your accent, and you don't hear it in your singing.
Oh, really? So what do you hear when I'm singing?
I don't hear the accent.
I don't sound American, do I?
Well, yeah, well, I would kind of say so. You don't sound like a British artist necessarily.
Right. Well, like I said, R&B originates from the States, and naturally, if you have a lot of R&B influences, you're going to pick up, the diction, I guess, and kind of singing that style. So that's probably why, because my influences, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's a good thing. So everybody, you know the drill. Let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this. This ain't no way. This is Cilla Raie.
Didn't I want you? Didn't I need you? Didn't we want it the way you wanted to be? Didn't you show me the ways you told me you need me? Say you mean it, let's take the fact to the meaning. Let's take it all back right now. Let's take it, no fake it. Let's take it all back right now. My mind's not taking it back, getting it going from back. I just tell you wanna slow it all down. I just see the way you wanna touch down. Tell nobody I'm not gonna show out. Get it while you need it, I'ma tell you what I need. If you want somebody who's a hit like that, if you want somebody who's cold like that, if you need somebody who'll make you feel bad, not like you, it's what you like that, don't you like that, can you like that, won't you right here, give me right back, for the way you want somebody who's a hit like that, if you want somebody who's cold like that. Didn't we want this? Didn't we plan this? I'm on a mission. Say what's on your mind, what's the secret? Didn't you know this? Back to back, you and I, wasting time, talking cold. 2 minutes, then we got some more. Getting late on the phone, hear your voice and then I want some more. Waking up on my mind, all alone, I can't take no more. Take it all back right now. Let's take it, no fake it. Let's take it all back right now. My mind's taking it back, getting it going from back. I just tell you wanna slow it all down. I just see the way you wanna touch down. I tell nobody I'm not gonna show out. Get it while you need it, I'ma tell you what I need. If you want somebody who's a hit like that, if you want somebody who's cold like that, if you need somebody who'll make you feel bad, not like you, it's what you like that, don't you like that, can you like that, won't you right here, give me right back, for the way you want somebody who's a hit like that, if you want somebody who's cold like that, for the way you want me,
Yeah, ain't no one. I don't know why I said the wrong name earlier. I said ain't no way, ain't no one. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You were supposed to say no. It ain't that. It's this.
You know what? I was just like, I'll correct him when we come back. It's called Ain't No One.
Okay. Sound like you wrote that about a guy or something.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a sentimental love song, so it's about just admiring the person that, you know, that you're with, or if you're not with the person, just somebody that you like. Just about admiration, you know. I like to make my slow jams about the lovey-dovey stuff, so, yeah.
Yeah, the lovey-dovey, mushy stuff. So when you coming back to the States, you said?
Well, I hope as soon as they, you know, lift these restrictions that we have, because I do know at one point the U.S. closed, you know, you guys had your borders closed and we couldn't even come to the country. You know, I don't know if it's still closed right now, but what I do know is that in the UK we are not allowed to travel at all.
And you know what, Cilla, you know, you right, you know what, and I know that, but you know what, even the length of time that we've been dealing with this stuff, it just, I don't know, I guess it just still slips my mind, because it's just kind of hard to think. We're in a situation now where we can't really do much of anything.
Exactly, and it's a new normal, and you know, for a lot of us, a lot of artists, a lot of people who, you know, frequently travel, it's very difficult because we're just having to find ways of just, I don't know, just making sense of the situation and finding ways, like I said before, finding ways to just adapt and work from a distance. Because I would love, absolutely, like I said, I was ready to be there and we got stopped. So I would love to be out there.
Well, I hate it because I've gained about 5 pounds.
Oh, I can imagine, just sitting at home eating all day.
Yeah, just not really. You know, when you're an active person, you just used to going, you know, in and out, you know, walking around, just being to move around. But without that happening, you know, it's only so much working out you can do at home. But then you do find yourself sitting around a lot in front of the computers, you know, snacking in the evening. You know, you can't go to the gym. It's just
Right. And I just think to myself, you know what? What about all those people who live in like mansions where they've got in-house gyms and they've got a gym in their house? And all of that. I just be thinking to myself, you see, this is why we need to be working hard to get that. You know?
Hey, look, them doggone rascals. Why should they be doing that and we're not? I understand. Imagine the people who've got in their house, they've got the gyms, they've got cinemas in their house, they've got actual, you know, some form of entertainment or just something that they don't even have to leave. Everything is in their house. How lucky are they? Swimming pool, tennis court, you know.
Right, everything. I mean, if you're tired, if you got a Starbucks.
Yeah, they don't have to do nothing but sit around and enjoy life. But it's okay. We'll be there. We'll be there tomorrow. It's all right. You know,
right.
We'll be next door tomorrow. You know what I mean? We'll wave at them.
Right. Yeah.
So, tell us about your new single, though, Motives. What was the inspiration for that, Cilla?
Yeah, so Motives is reminiscent of, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s era. I don't know if you can tell, there's like this theme of old school influence going on in the music, and that's because, you know, with the project that I have coming up, I really wanted to make this project just embody the entire feel of R&B and just have reminiscent influences from the past and stuff like that, and just from all the influences I have from the artists, and I wanted to kind of just bring that into this era. So Motives, again, is one of those songs that I wrote prior to my hiatus, but because I absolutely loved this song, and I remember when Joey, my producer, sent me the production, again, it was one of those songs that was up-tempo. So again, it swayed away from me doing the usual slow jam, kind of slow tempo songs. And I said, oh, this gives me that early 2000s era, that Destiny's Child kind of feel. And instantly, I just knew what the melody was going to be in my head, what the the theme was going to be, and I just put it down, laid it down, and I just said, this song has to come out for this era because again, it just gives me the complete embodiment of just what I would embrace myself to be as an R&B artist. So yeah.
Well, I'm definitely love the R&B thing because that was the era that I came up in with. So that's really, really what I know. I had to grow to like everything else, but when you got the R&B in your bones, that's just who you are.
Totally different when it's in you. You get what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. That's a great thing about a great artist. People can feel what you feel in the song.
Mhm. Exactly. And that's what I really wanted to translate. So, yeah, I hope this song did that.
Yeah. Well, everyone, I have to tell you what the drill is, but you should know it by now. But if it's not, I'm going to remind you, let your windows down, turn your air conditioner up, and put your ear on this. This is Miss Cilla Raie, and this is Motives. Put your ears on this one, and we'll be back.
Okay, your girl Miss Dramaganza, check. Lip gloss, check. Mascara, check. I am indie with the homie K Diddy, check. You listening to Blog Talk Radio, baby, and I love you for it. Mwah.
Yes. Cilla, have you shot the video for that yet?
Yes, I have. It's available on YouTube right now. It came out maybe like a week and a bit ago now.
Okay. Well, everybody go check us out. Everybody definitely go check it out. And I wanted to say here, too, for those that joined the show a little bit late, it'll be available in a few minutes in its entirety worldwide, so you have no excuse not to hear the show, and you know what I be saying, you know, ask your mama, ask your daddy, ask the neighbor across the street or the guy on the corner at the gas station where they can hear the show, because we don't want to hear no excuses that you couldn't hear, couldn't get it.
Right.
Have to give them a little reminder, you know what I mean? So I know they can't go too far, but, you know, I know they got their cell phones and stuff, you know.
Right, of course.
You know,
Still
they
there.
FaceTime. Yeah, they got the FaceTime look, so it's no excuse. They can even hear the show. If they got Alexa in their house, they can go to Amazon Alexa, and they can still hear the show. So I'm just making sure, Cilla, they ain't got no excuse. I'm not accepting no excuses. So there's no reason for them not to hear the show and hear the music.
All right. It's everywhere. It's available.
It's available everywhere. So what else you got going on good with you? What else you doing? I know you're raising your son and trying to be an artist as well, and I know that's 2 jobs.
Well, I would love to update more right now, but since I'm in the middle of a lockdown, and we've been in a lockdown for the past year, there's nothing else really to update on when it comes to, like, you know, personal life. I mean, other than music, like I said, Motives just came out. I have another single that's going to be coming out in the next month, and then my EP will come out mid-year. The next single that I have coming out is a very, very special song because it actually features a U.S. female artist. I don't know if I can say it right now because I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, that to me is
well, we don't want you to spoil it. We just want you to come back through the show when you're ready for that, and I'm definitely honored that this was one of your first interviews here in the States. I'm really pumped about that.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I absolutely love the States. I love America so much. Just even, you know, having gone down there and been down there in the past, and just the energy of people is just totally different from down here. So I'm so stoked, and I'm so happy that I have, you know, this female artist who's actually based in America and has done quite well herself to be featured on my record. I really wanted it to be like a UK to US female link-up R&B because she's an R&B artist as well. So I'm so excited about that because you don't ever see that kind of collaboration down here, ever. So I'm really excited for that to come out.
Definitely looking forward to that for sure. But listen, we're down to the last couple of minutes of the show. Tell everybody quickly where they could email you, go see you, and touch you.
Yeah, so you can find me all over social media. I'm on Instagram, Cilla Raie. I know a lot of people misspell my name, so I'll spell it out. It's CILLARAIE. Again, Twitter, Cilla Raie. Facebook, it's Cilla Raie. YouTube, check out my new music videos for Motives, Cilla Raie TV. Like, I'm all over the net. You can find me.
All right. Thank you so much. And again, I want to thank you for taking time to come out and spending time with us and sharing your music and continue to do great music.
Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
Definitely my pleasure. And be sure, you know, to come back and let us hear your new stuff. You know, you got a new friend over here and a new fan. So
thank you.
Definitely make sure you come back when you get your new release. You know, we'd love to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I'd love this interview. It's been amazing.
Thank you as well. Everybody, Cilla Raie, y'all know what I said, where you can go hear the music at. You won't be disappointed. And go check out the YouTube. And I want to thank you for taking time out listening to the show today, and try to keep the calories down, you know, wear the mask, be safe and whatever and all that you do, and you can hear some good music while you're being safe. Just don't eat too much. And we'll see you next week, same time, right here, 2 p.m. PST on I Am Indie. Much love and be safe out there. And thank you.
What's good with y'all? It's your boy Snoopy So Fly, kicking it live on the I Am Indie radio show with your boy K Diddy, man. New South Records, respect the brotherhood. Straight like that. Let's get it.